with the side of your hand so that you know when you're pulling the meat up that each portion will be the same size. You know what happens if you don't do this. You make 3 burgers, they all look great, you get to the last burger, it's a runt, it's like a slider, and you gotta go back and rip meat off all the other burgers, right? We always season from above. Why? So we get even distribution, but we also season from above to get the proportion right. You don't want a big blob of salt over here. When you season from above and you let the seasonings rain down into the bowl, you get better distribution and you're more correct with the amount that you choose for your salt and pepper, okay? Let's just talk about meat in general. When you're cooking any protein, first of all, the equipment I prefer to use is a cast iron skillet. A cast iron skillet gives you full contact of the sugars in the protein. You want the whole surface of the meat or the protein of choice, even if you're cooking a piece of seafood like a salmon. You want every inch of that surface to be equally delicious, and you want to caramelize the sugars in that protein. So we're going to liberally salt with kosher salt and coarse black pepper. The next tip is to keep the steak out on the counter for a few minutes and take the chill off from it. Don't put cold meat into a hot pan. It seizes up right away. So you let it rest, come to room temperature, season it liberally right before you put it into the pan. I cook my steaks over medium-high heat, again in a cast iron skillet. I hit it with just a little bit of oil, regular olive oil or vegetable oil, a higher temperature cooking oil. Put it in seasoned side down and do not mess with it. When you are cooking steaks, it's essential not to turn the steak until it's ready to be turned, okay? It's going to take for every inch, 8 minutes turning the meat, occasionally for a pink center. I never cook whole turkeys like this. I always make 2 turkeys, so one can go to the table and be plattered, 2 small birds. And I always spatchcock them. In other words, you remove the backbone of the bird. Whether it's a turkey or a chicken, if you take out the backbone before you roast it and make the bird flat, it'll have a quicker cooking time. I cook a 14-pound turkey in just about 2 hours, and it's the only way you can evenly cook dark meat and white meat. Otherwise, your breast meat will probably be a little overcooked by the time you get your dark meat done. When I make cutlets, you see they're kind of heart-shaped. They're like supersized. Instead of just pounding and pounding and pounding at the chicken, I do this with my pork cutlets as well. When you bring it home, set it down and take your sharp knife, this is a boning knife, and open the chicken like a book. You do this by just kind of peeling back while you're slicing, just like that. Then it's a lot easier to pound this out. And remember, when you're pounding out meats, you're not like angry. It's like a drop and a pull or a drop and a push. Gentle, even strokes. Another great tip is when chicken breasts go on sale a few times a year, right? Boneless, skinless chicken breasts are the loss leader, and they are a great price. Bring them home, split them open, pound them out, put them in individual plastic food storage bags and pop them in the freezer. They defrost super quick. They're a great go-to, and it'll give you more bang for your buck when it comes to one of the priciest things in the grocery store, the boneless, skinless chicken breast. When you make your breading station, you want to make it as near the stove as possible. So you're going in one motion, kind of like down an assembly line. You're going from the flour, shaking off the excess, to the egg, letting the excess fall away, into the breadcrumbs, and press evenly to make sure the breadcrumbs adhere to both sides. When the oil ripples and begins to gently waft some smoke, it's ready. So we're going to start our process. Shake off all your excess. Turn evenly in the egg. Make sure you get the egg all over, or of course the breading won't stick. And then into the crumbs. Press evenly to get that coated really well. It's kind of mesmerizing breading. And then into the oil it goes.